amazing humans, Sarah King here with the Nourished Pineapple, and we have Chef Everett with us today. So happy to have him help me out. And we're actually going to make one of Everett's favorite foods, which is meatballs.
Chicken meatballs.
Chicken meatballs. And we're going to do mushroom balls too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the reason that we're doing meatballs today is because they are comfort foods, at least for us. You know, it's getting colder outside, the weather's changing, it's a little bit more gloomy. These comfort foods help to keep us warm and just make us feel all nice and cozy inside, right? So we wanted to do a healthier version of meatballs and give you two different options.
Hello.
So what do we got in here? We have, this is our bowl for our chicken meatballs. And we have some organic ground chicken. I already added a half cup of breadcrumbs, and I have about an ounce of, probably a little bit more, of Parmesan cheese in here. You go to cut up an onion to keep it held together nicely. You just slice off the bottom part here. We're gonna put this in our garbage bowl. And then what I do is I just chop it in half and peel it. And we're actually going to reserve one for our mushroom balls. And then the other half onion is going to be for our chicken meatballs.
Yes.
So when I go to chop up an onion, if I want the pieces to be very, very small, I don't cut it all the way through, but I just slice as far as I can. And remember, we want to keep our fingers back.
Yeah.
So the parts don't fall, the slices don't fall off. And then once I do that, I just kind of gently push through. And then I got some nice small minced diced pieces there. About a half a cup for each. So I'm just going to eyeball it and put about a half a cup.
Can I put it in there for you?
Yeah, do you want to, we're going to put oregano in there. You want to put oregano in there for me?
Yeah. Those are spices.
This is the spices. So you want to just hold out your little paw there over the bowl. And I'm going to, so about 2 teaspoons. I like a lot of oregano.
Yeah.
A lot of that. And then, it's pretty good. And then, you want to help me?
Okay.
Okay, dump that in there.
Okay.
There you go. How's that taste?
Yummy.
Tastes yummy. And then we're gonna get our garlic going. So I want 4 cloves of garlic for my mushroom balls. So we're gonna set those aside, and then the easier way to, instead of trying to sit there and peel off the garlic,
Yeah. You just can't.
shall we smash it?
Yeah, that's for better.
Boom.
Then
Yeah, we'll do that.
I'm gonna put it in there right now.
Yeah, okay. Now we use our garlic press
I already put it in there. I get it.
to get it in
See, Mom?
to the bowl.
I don't want to eat
And then we use our mussels.
this.
Love adding fresh garlic to all of our meals because garlic naturally helps boost your immune system.
What's this
So,
break
and it's
it?
also,
Mom, what's this break it?
well, I'm going to show them how to chop it up
I like
pretty
to,
quickly. Watch this.
I just,
So I got basil, and I'm going to use half of this for the chicken meatballs and then the other half for the mushroom balls. The mushroom ball recipe I actually got off of allrecipes.com. It's Chef John's meatless meatballs. I have that in the description below if you want the link to the original recipe. So you want to get a handful of that and put it in there in the bowl.
oh,
Okay, I'll do it.
I got it. Put it in my palm. I got it.
In your paw. There you go.
No.
Okay, and now we want to add 1 egg.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Everett's going to do it.
I'm pretty good at it. Watch.
Good job, buddy. We use our hands and we mix it all up.
Ugh.
It's very cold.
Yucky.
Yeah.
It feels yucky. Look.
Yeah.
And
It's all mushy, huh?
I'm not gonna really touch it because it's super yucky.
You want to go wash your hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty yucky.
Okay. Daddy will help you out if you want to go. So with the holidays coming up, it can be very stressful with unhealthy foods and everything like that being around us. However, you can eat what's available and still have fun and be healthy. So like what we're doing, we're making healthy swaps for the foods that might not make us feel very good. We can add ingredients that might make us feel better. And also just think about what you have that's within your control. You can't control what other people do. You can't control what other people make at the parties that you go to, but you do have control over what you put in your body. And you also have control over how much you consume, and you have control over thinking about what's right for you and what you like, and listening to your body too. So I know that when I start to eat too much of the stuff that's not nourishing, I don't feel as good, and I start to make poor decisions. It's like when I start eating those foods, my body is like, I want more, I want more, I want more, and I start feeling worse and worse and worse. So it's always helped me to make sure that I'm adding those vegetables, that I'm staying the course on behaviors and actions that help me feel better, like getting enough sleep,
Mom?
spending time with family,
Mommy?
drinking a lot of water,
And mostly playing tag.
and playing tag. Tag is important. Getting physical activity, right?
So you can go very fast.
So you can go very fast. And we eat our vegetables, so we can go very fast, right? Okay.
And when you're 5, you're still a kid, and that means you get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes. So we're gonna come over here and make our meatballs
Oh, I need
and cook them. All right, I'm gonna heat my pan
Yep, that's
to
Mommy's pan.
medium high. And what I'm gonna do to make the meatballs is I just get my 3 fingers here and get them so they're about a
Look at my
inch.
Look at my
Yeah,
face.
I see your face there.
No, you don't.
Let's stick them in the pan.
Look at me.
I see you there.
Okay.
I'm gonna cook the meatballs on medium high for about
Wow.
5 minutes to let them get brown on one side. And then we're gonna flip them over and reduce the heat to medium low and let them, and cover them up and let them cook on medium low for about 10 minutes.
What something?
Going to cook our mushroom balls, and I went ahead and put a pound of mushrooms in the food processor, and that's just a quick way to get them all nice and diced up. I might have them a little too small, but it doesn't really matter because they mush a lot better together. And what I'm going to do is put the set the fire to about medium to medium high, and put extra virgin olive oil, about a tablespoon, in the pan.
I don't know.
I love you too, buddy. And then once that gets warmed up, we're going to add our mushrooms, and we're going to let those cook and get all the water out of them. It's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to lower my heat here. Flip over the chicken. Lid on that. I'm going to let that cook for about 10 minutes. And while that's going, add my mushrooms. And let this cook. Mushrooms have a lot of water in them, so you're going to see that here in a few minutes. Add some salt to help get the water out. Okay, so you can see they've been cooking just for like a minute or two. All the water's coming out, so we're just going to let that cook off here. Looks like most of the water's off, so I'm going to add onion and about a tablespoon of butter. I like to use Kerrygold butters, grass-fed. I don't measure things sometimes. I'm going to let the onions cook and let the mushrooms get a little bit more brown. Now we're going to check on these guys. I'm going to crank up the heat just a little bit, and I like to get the sides a little bit more crispy. Alright, so you can see that most of the water is cooked out of the mushrooms. They're getting brown. We got like we can see through our onions, so those are good to go. So I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to take my garlic press again and crush some garlic. That and it smells really good. Smell that garlic. Now I got all my other ingredients in the bowl other than my egg. So I'm just going to add the mushroom mixture. I'm gonna let that cool for a minute. And I'm gonna add 2 eggs and mix that all up. If you don't like cheese or you're trying to avoid cheese, you don't need to add that. That's not necessary. Like I said before, you can chop up some walnuts, crush those or pulverize those in a food processor, or chop them up, and that can still help with binding them together. I'm going to add in some Parmesan. Again, you don't have to add Parmesan if you don't want to. Get that all in there. So it looks like our chicken meatballs are done. I'm just going to add them to a plate and let those cool off. The one cool thing about meatballs, you can freeze them, so you can make a big old batch and have some for later in the week, or the next week if you want to freeze them. I'm going to form my mushroom balls. I got a spoon here. It might be easier if you set this mixture in the fridge if you have time, and just let it sit in the fridge to get cold so that they are a little bit easier to form. But if you're not big on time, then you can just do it right then. Be a honey badger. Do what you want. I'm going to stick these in the oven for 15 minutes at 450 degrees, and I put it on the top shelf. Our mushroom balls are ready to be taken out of the oven. Yum. They smell good. All right, so we have our comfort foods plated. We have our chicken meatballs and our mushroom balls. And also remember, what's one small thing that you can add to what you're already doing this week to create that positive behavior change to meet your health goals? So last week we talked about adding a vegetable to your breakfast. This week, what's something else you could do? Or if you want to keep working on that one habit from last week, no big deal. Do what works for you. The recipes are below. And thank you so much for watching and listening. Remember to stand tall, wear a crown, and be nourished.
Whoa! 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 Extreme close-up. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
And that's all it.